going on, everyone? Coming at you today to teach you how I teach my clients how to kettlebell swing as quickly as possible. So this is a method that I think works really well for pretty much everybody. Now, the only reasons you may struggle with a kettlebell swing is if you're not used to hip hinging, and we'll cover that today as well. Now, the style of the kettlebell swing that we're going to cover today is the hard style, which means a lot of contracting, a lot of force through the swing. There is other variations to the kettlebell swing, but this is the one we're going to cover today. The other ones we'll cover in different videos. Now, to begin with, like I mentioned, we do want to start by knowing what a hip hinge is. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to stand, feet about shoulder width apart, arms up, and all I want to do is push the hips back as far as I can, and then bring it back forward, butt cheeks clench at the top, abs are ready for a punch. So we get used to that motion that we're going to use later today in our kettlebell swing. Notice my spine does not move, it does not bend as I go, and that's why we want to keep the arms here first, because it helps people learn, oh, that's what a rigid torso feels like, because most people will do this. Alright, so you want to make sure you learn how to hip hinge with a neutral spine. Okay, so next we're going to take the hip hinge and just do our kettlebell deadlift. So the same exact motion, maybe a little bit more knee bend. Now make sure your feet are right to the sides of the kettlebell. So the kettlebell's right underneath me. I'm going to keep my weight evenly through the feet. So I'm not going to be falling backwards like this. Push the hips back, brace for a punch, or grab. Get used to that butt cheek clench every time you come up to the deadlift. And now, here is my secret technique for that kettlebell swing. Now, this is not really so much of a secret because I do share this on social media, and some people do use this as well, but it's not as much as I think I use it personally. So what we have set up here is a stepper. Now, you only have like a 1 foot, 12-inch plyo box. That would work great as well for most people of most heights. And I just have my kettlebell sitting on its side right on top. Now I'm going to get on the corner here of the box. I'm going to do my hip hinge, and all I'm going to do is finish at the top position of that kettlebell deadlift movement that we just did. So ready for a punch, butt is back, feet are flat on the ground, I'm solid planted. I'm just going to thrust my hips forward and set it back down. Notice I'm setting it back down at an angle, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to hit the box, which means the weight has to stay really close to my hips. So if I was a little shorter, this was hitting every time, I would just take one rice rough. But for most people, like I said, you have a plyo box that's 12 inches high, that should be plenty. Now, when you do this, it's really a good idea to think about thrusting forward with the hips. That way you get used to, again, finishing with that butt cheek clench. One common mistake here is finishing way back here instead of just straight line from the heels to the shoulders. We're also not using the arms to bring the weight up. The motion of the weight comes from my hips driving forearms forward. Okay? Now once you get that down, you can actually go into the swing. Just don't hit the box. Notice a sharp exhale, because we want to be very powerful at the top. Okay, so that's pretty much your kettlebell swing right there. But the box is there to make sure you're not swinging low, because you don't want to hit the box, obviously. And that keeps you in that hip hinge position, and it helps you guide yourself backwards a little bit better with the box in the way. Now, obviously, you want to get to the point where you feel comfortable with the kettlebell swing without using any of that assistance of the box. and this is how you start it. Have the weight now in front of you. I still get my same stance. Imagine that box is still there, you don't want to hit it, right? So abs raise for a punch, hips go back, I grab, I angle the weight, I tense the whole body up, I hike back, and now I'm just doing the same thing I was doing before. And when you set it down, back, forwards, and down. Alright folks, that's it. Super simple way to learn the kettlebell swing and integrate it into your workouts. It's a great hamstring glute exercise. And once you get that down, we'll be covering more exercises, variations in that swing too, some cleans and some snatches and different things you can do with it to use more power training in your routine, because power is the #1 attribute we lose as we age. It's also very exhausting, burns a lot of calories. So it's great for pretty much any exercise goal. So stay tuned for more videos. Until then, train hard and train smart.